Hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your week in Nerdom gaming edition for the week of October 22nd, 2018. This week in gaming, we have more SpiderMan for the PS4 updates. WB Montreal is keeping something secret, and we're going to talk about it and more right after the intro.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
For all of you Spider-Man players on your PS4s, I envy you. I don't have a PS4. I'm an Xbox guy, and this was console exclusive. I shake my fist at you. But we are waiting still on DLC for Spider-Man, and it was announced that we are going to be waiting a little bit longer for the DLC because they just launched the Ultimate difficulty and the Game Plus mode, which effectively both of them just make the game harder in different ways. The actual DLC is going to be the Heist, and the first chapter is going to be called The City That Never Sleeps. No announcement either as to what exactly that is going to contain, so any speculation right now would be just that, speculation, and we're not going to do that. We're just going to move on. Next, we are talking about WB Montreal, senior game designer from the company, Osama Dorias, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, said in a podcast interview last week that not only was his company finishing a major DC title, but he has joined the team on another DC title that his company is working on. He was very vague on any specifics as to what titles they are, but this very possibly could either be an expansion of the Arkham games, because they did Arkham Origins, they didn't do the Arkham City or Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight. That was all Rocksteady, but they did do Arkham Origins. So is this going to be set also in the Arkham Origins universe? Is this going to be a Superman version of that kind of gameplay? Is this going to be a Justice League game? We have no idea, because they've really they've been dropping hints that it's something along those lines, just no specifics. So I'm passing this off to you guys. What do you think they're working on? And since it's two games, are the two games related, or is it two very different properties? Let's have that conversation. I want to do that speculation with you, but I'm not going to do it here in the episode, so we're moving on. Next is The Walking Dead final season. We talked a couple weeks ago, it's been all over the news, Telltale Games is gone out of business mostly. They still have a very small staff that's working on certain projects, but really they're no more. For all intents and purposes, they are no more. So that meant originally that we very likely weren't going to be getting the final installment of the Walking Dead games. That wasn't super likely though, because that's probably one of the biggest games they've ever put out. So what happened was Skybound Games picked up the franchise, and they are going to give us the final chapter. They're to final two chapters, actually. The project has been effectively pushed back indeterminately because the team at Skybound that's going to be working on the final two chapters has other things on its plate that they're already in the middle of. So any speculation on release date that once happened is now irrelevant, because they don't know exactly when they're going to get to it. Once they do get to it, then they can give an expected release date, and then we can talk about it then, but that hasn't happened. So let's move on to our last bit of news, which is not to do with a game specifically, but gaming as a sport, as a form of entertainment, I guess is probably more appropriate. The release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has a lot of people wetting their pants in anticipation, and has companies like PDP, who makes peripherals, also wetting themselves with anticipation so they can start making some really great peripherals. And you're seeing on your screen right now these really great peripherals. These controllers. So, alright, let's back up just a little bit. If you order the special edition, or whatever they're calling their special limited edition, or whatever version of Smash Brothers, then you get an adapter and a GameCube controller so that you can play it on your Switch. Now, these controllers, again, that you're seeing on the screen, don't need the adapter. These connect directly to your Switch. They have the home buttons and everything built in, so you don't have to like figure out exactly what button is going to do what and where and all that jazz. It's already there for you. And they look pretty dang cool. There's Mario and Link and Pikachu. They didn't announce if there's going to be any more than just the 3, but I mean, do you need more than just the 3? And they are shaped effectively like the GameCube controllers, with a little caveat. And this is actually, again, in their favor. The C stick, you will notice, is not there in these images, because you can get it just like the GameCube controller. You can get it with the C stick, or you can take the C stick off and make it just a regular sized joystick. And why wouldn't you? That just makes sense if you're a competitive player. Yeah, sure, I mean, muscle memory and whatever, it feels like a GameCube controller if that's a C instead of a joystick, but to my mind, to my hands, my stupid, non-competitive enough hands, it makes more sense to have the larger nub on that joystick, so you don't slip off it as much, whatever. Yeah, just super excited about these, just because this is my favorite Nintendo controller, as is for most people. I feel like the GameCube, while it was kind of sort of missing a button by comparison to PlayStation 4 or PlayStation since PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, it was missing one of the, because it doesn't have a trigger button, or only has a trigger button, I guess is more appropriate. I just, again, this is my favorite Nintendo controller, and now you can get it for your Switch. Why not? It's awesome. And now competitive players are going to have a little bit of a leg up. But that, guys, is where we're ending this week's episode. What did I miss in gaming? What should we talk about next week? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. That is the place you can go get all of the freebies, all of the social media links, and the store links so you can get your nerdy swag. All of that is up on generallynerdy.net. There is also a Patreon page, patreon.com/generallynerdy. 4 tiers. Everybody knows how Patreon works. My lowest tier is just $1. You can jump on for just $1, and that helps more directly. That does a lot of things, actually, for me. Other places that do a $1 tier kind of just say, hey, thanks for the $1. Now, here's all of the stuff you could get for free. We appreciate your $1, though. Well, I appreciate your $1, and you get more content. So go check it out, patreon.com/generallynerdy. If you're new to this channel, though, click the subscribe button. If you like this episode, click the like button. If you're falling behind in your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap that box right there to the left of my face to do that. But before we do all of the things and click on boxes and stuff, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.